Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and today is a very special day for me. This marks 1 year since I launched my YouTube channel. Yes, I launched on December 14th of 2018, and my oh my, I could never have envisioned the ride that I was beginning on at that particular moment in time. And so I just wanted to make a quick video just to purely say thank you and express my very sincere gratitude for everybody that supported me along the way, everybody that watches my videos, all the kind comments, all the constructive criticism, everything from the bottom of my heart. I could not be more appreciative. And so I just want to take a few minutes just to speak off the cuff here before I record and post the rest of the content that I have for the day. I did map out just a few videos that I'll do after this, but for now, this video, it's just purely a thank you. And I thought I'd maybe start by sharing with you a little bit of what it was like when I was launching this channel. And to be honest with you, I first came up with the idea to launch my own YouTube channel about 2 years ago. Now, at that point, I had only been in the world of crypto for about a month. So I was very excited, a little bit exuberant about it, perhaps jubilant, perhaps we could use that word, but I was thinking about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then I was talking to Moonbay about it, and towards the end of December, that's technically when I started my channel. Here, I'll pull up on the screen here. This is the About section, which, by the way, I'm thinking after a year I should probably fill this thing out with some text. I still haven't done that for some reason. But at least I got this cool Moon Lambo water at the top, right? But I technically started the channel December 31st, 2017. And that day, I went out and I was all excited, and I bought a microphone, and I bought some screen capturing and video editing software. And I was like, okay, I'm going to launch it. And then after that, though, I thought a little bit more as the next day or two or whatever it was, and I was like, maybe I need to cool my jets a little bit, right? If I can say hashtag cool your jets. And so I started thinking, well, maybe I was like, look, I'm clearly very excited about this. I just spent a few $100s buying the microphone and the video editing software, all this, but I was like, maybe I should tap the brakes for at least a little while just to make sure that this is something that's going to be a staying passion for me, number one. And number two, I thought, okay, I've been in this for a month and a half. And I was really educating myself, and I could already see I was getting to a point, because I was spending so much time on this, that I was learning things that maybe not your typical person jumping into the space, because there's so many people joining late 2017, but many people didn't even know what I knew at that point. But I thought, maybe I'm going to tap the brakes a little bit and just learn a bit more, spend some time. I didn't put a clock on it as far as after X number of weeks or months, whatever, then I'm going to launch the channel. It's just like, I think I'll know when it's right. And so more time passed, and I spent every day, almost literally every single day, just vast quantities of time just researching everything that I could, mostly about Ripple and XRP, because I quickly realized that utility matters, and Ripple was the only company that was providing any semblance of future utility. And so time passed, I kept learning more and more, and it finally got to a point, December 14th of last year, I was like, why have I not launched this channel? I was like, I clearly still have this genuine passion. I'm still tracking this stuff, spending stupid amounts of time. I'm sure most people would think that. Hours, 1 to 3 hours even then, typically. And a lot of that was just listening to other YouTubers and things along those lines. But a lot of it was reading articles too and stuff, just general research rather. But I thought, why have I not launched this channel yet? And it got to the point where I realized maybe the honest answer, now that I had realized this wasn't some sort of passion that was going to fade or interest that was going to go away, it was no longer that I didn't have enough knowledge to contribute something to the XRP community. I think the last hurdle to get over was I felt silly about the idea of starting a YouTube channel as at the time a 35-year-old man, to be perfectly honest with you, and maybe a little bit nervous about it. And to be honest, that's the truth, but it's funny because I'm not an introvert. I'm more on the extrovert side. That's just, it's kind of like, it's not all black and white, there's a sliding scale essentially, but definitely more on the extrovert side. My entire history in my career, I own a business, but a lot of that, my whole history, it really goes back to me doing outside sales work, this or that. So I not afraid to do that type of stuff, but still, there is this little thing where it's like, Moon Lambo, you got to get yourself a little bit outside of your comfort zone, and it was a little bit to be honest. And so finally, December 14th, it was a Friday. I remember I was at my office and I was just thinking about it, and I was like, it was like something built up in me. I was like, oh my God, I just have to do this or I'm never going to do it. I got to pull the trigger. I have to do this right now. And so I left work, which I can do because I'm my own boss. I own my own company. So I left my office and I went home. And I sat in front of the computer in a room with my dog, and I sat there and I started trying to record just talking to myself. And it was the weirdest feeling. I'm totally acclimated to it at this point, so hopefully it seems more natural now, but I got to be honest. Like, when recording that first video, I don't remember exactly how long it took, but man, it had to have been over an hour. I don't know if it was an hour or 2 hours, whatever it was. And then I kept starting recording, and then I'd stop. I was like, oh, that's no good. I'm slipping up here, and I'm not speaking clearly, and I'm not being articulate enough. And then there was this nervous feeling. But eventually I was like, no, I got to knock that off. I just need to talk. If there's any blips, then so be it. I'm just going to be a real, transparent, genuine person. That's that. And if there are faults in it, so be it. And then I was just hoping that would be well received. I didn't know. Well, you don't know what to expect when you're doing something like that. And so I recorded my first video, and I pulled it up here in my videos page. And here you can see 1 year ago, there's my first video in the bottom right corner of the screen, 13 minutes and 2 seconds. And I decided to just do a quick introductory video rather than getting anything specifically about Ripple and XRP, because I thought that would make me feel more comfortable just to kind of get into it. And so I did that, and so that was my first video. That's my first pancake. Perhaps it wasn't a very round pancake, but it was a pancake, all right? So I did that, and then I remember after I finally posted, it's like, okay, I actually did it, and then I was just thinking, okay, I hope that's well received. And I'll tell you what, I shouldn't have been as concerned as I was, because the XRP community, it's full of just nothing but the kindest, most receptive people. And I just got nothing but, hey, yeah, absolutely start it. It's going to be something that you can do it. The comments of those types on Twitter, and there are a couple comments there. And I remember I got my first subscriber that day, and I was like, oh my God, I got a subscriber. I remember his name. It was John. I don't know if he's still subscribed, but he subscribed. His name was John. I'll probably never forget that just because it was the first one there. And so I had fun with it, though. You know, it took me a while to really get to the point where I wasn't nervous when I was starting to record or feeling weird or like, oh my God, are people going to hate me or make fun of me or this or that. It took a little while, but I don't know if it was a week or two, but eventually it got to a point where I was like, no, I feel at home now. Eventually I did. And so I spent the next 6 months, well, 5.5 months roughly, growing the channel up to a point where I had a little over 200 subscribers. And at that point, I was like, okay, well, I guess it's never going to be as big as some of the other XRP community members. There's a lot of great contributors already. I understand that. I was like, but I'm having fun, so I'm just going to keep doing this, because it's even then I was like, it was my most favoritist hobby ever. And so I just kept going. But all of a sudden, a couple of my videos, I started to get some traction. And then things started to snowball and snowball and snowball to the point where, after, I guess I want to say it was maybe by the time late May, early June rolled around, I started to see more and more people are starting to, listen to my videos and subscribe to the channel. And so fast forward another 6 months later, and I could not be more humbled. I'll pull up the About section on my page here again, and I now have 14,600 subscribers, and my videos have been viewed 2,901,224 views. Holy cow. And so that's why, as I started out the video, I wanted to make very clear this is nothing but a thank you video. I wanted to tell you a little bit about what my journey was like too, but just could not be more sincerely appreciative. I take none of it for granted. I really don't. And I over the last half year in particular, going from a little over 200 subscribers to 14,600, I never would have believed something like that was possible. And even today, I'm still growing by roughly, maybe close to 2,000 subscribers a month. And I don't know if that pace will be maintained, but regardless, whatever it is, it's because of you. It's because of the XRP community. And I really, every day when I wake up, one of the first things I think about is, what can I put out there for the XRP community? What can we talk about? What type of knowledge have I learned that I can share with? What can I learn from other people also, of course, because I don't pretend to know everything. I don't. I'm just a regular XRP community member who happens to run a YouTube channel, so I'm always learning. I'm not a know-it-all. But I just have that excitement every day where I'm like, I get to do this, and it seems to be very well overall received by the community. And so that's really the gist of what I wanted to share with you, is just kind of what it was like for me starting out, and just a very genuine thank you. So That's it. And with that, I guess I should probably wrap up the video. I don't think there's anything else that I want to share with you. Just kind of like a beginnings type story, because I've kind of mentioned parts of that at times over the course of the last year, but I haven't gone too much in depth and talked about how I was actually being a scared person a year ago when I launched my channel. But it feels good now. It feels good. I'm glad that I'm doing this, and it's because of all of you listening and all the support. So again, I know I've said thank you probably too many times now in this video, but I mean it. So that's it, and I'll wrap up. I'll wrap up the same way I always do now. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything, because if anything I say or write, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!